ओके। तो हम लोग थोड़ा सा देखेंगे उसका रिजल्ट क्या आया, कितने मार्क्स आए। मैंने एक्चुअली चेक किया नहीं, एक बार देख लेता हूँ। So today we will discuss about sampling, air sampling, how air, different air particulate matter and gaseous air are sampling to carry out the different test. What is the limits for that? We are the testing different methods, sampling methods. There are various sampling methods because air is not like that water sample or some soil samples and just keep in a refrigerator or keep in a small boxes, and whenever you just sample the air, then you have to instantly carry out the what that test for different gases, pollutants or particulate matters. So there are various techniques, responses. हाँ हाँ, एक मिनट देख रहा हूँ थोड़ा सा। कितना मार्क मिला, कहाँ पे आता है? हम्म, so there are 30 among 30 multiple choice questions, 22 are correct. So 22 by 30, and we have to check again that one short type questions, वो भी देखना पड़ेगा। हाँ हाँ हाँ, वो तो मैंने बता दिया था ना, उसके 2 नंबर में टिक मार दीजिए तो। हाँ, वो तो करेक्ट हो गया है। एक मिनट। ठीक है, तो 22, 30 से 22 राइट हुआ है। अभी 7 गलत हो गया है। तो ये वाला देख लेते हैं कितना रहा करेक्ट हुआ है। ठीक है। जो मल्टीपल चॉइस है ना 30 क्वेश्चन, उसमें से 22 करेक्ट हुआ है। हाँ, 22/30 ऐसे लिख रहा है। मैं इसको टाइम लगेगा, बाद में करेंगे, अभी पढ़ लेते हैं कौन सा क्या हुआ, वो मैं बाद में देखेंगे। सो लेट मी शेयर माय विंडो। is it visible now? Okay, so today we have to learn about air sampling. So, air sampling means pollutant sampling. There are two phases. One is called sampling and another is called measurement. And the sampling techniques are sampling and measurement of the air pollutants. These are generally termed as air quality monitoring. That means first you have to collect the sample, then at that after collecting you have to just monitor, means check whether measure whether what is the value or what is the limits of the pollutants in these gaseous samples. So there are two parts. For one is called ambient air quality measurement, and second is called stack sampling. That means in running the stack you have to directly go and instantly measure the air pollutant. That is called step sampling. Another is called air quality measurement. Why air quality means you have to just sample the collect the air, and you have to bring the air into the laboratory, and you have to just measure the some different pollutant. That is called air quality measurement. And another is called stock sampling. And stock sampling is you have to go to the stock of the chimney and directly insert the probe inside the chimney and just instantly just measure what is the emission level. That is called stock sampling. So in this various industry, it is not possible to just collect the sample and bring to the laboratory and check, because at the time of collection and while bringing to the laboratory, various pollutant or gases they may degrade, or it can be data loss may be occur. So directly you have to just insert the probe in the stack and monitor the emission level. That is called stock sampling. This stock sampling provides on the nature and quantity of various pollutants that are emitted into the atmosphere instantly at that time. Directly you have to go and insert the probe. Probably the most important objective of the air sample exercise is to obtain genuine and respective sample. That means that this stack sampling is most effective measure methods for measurement of gaseous pollutants that is released to the atmosphere directly to the atmosphere from the various industry or from the stock. So this stock sampling is more important than the air quality normal air quality monitoring. So what is air sampling? Ambient air sampling is the typical air sampling consists of collector, flow meter and pump to the air sample through the system. That means there is a fitting of pump is there, just switch on the pump and collect the air into the sample collector. That sample collector may be a box, maybe a air balloon, or maybe directly as volume collector, sample collector, or air bags. That may be different thing. So you start the pump and the air can be collected in the sample collector itself. So there are three major parts. One is called sample collector, one is called flow meter, and is the pump. Then after that you have to go for the measurement of the air sampling. This is called ambient air sampling. And this flow meter can be positioned either upstream or downstream. However, upstream or downstream is whenever the air pollutant or gas pollutant are flow, then at the up point or down point both the flow meter can be placed, because you cannot go to directly, because the speed of the pollutant or speed of the air, that also depends how you have to collect the sample, what is the power, and what is the total pressure they can create to collect the sample. So flow meter is also very much important. So collection of gaseous pollutant. There are two type of gaseous air pollutant. One is called gaseous pollutant, another is called particulate matter. And we have to both we have to measure both type of gaseous pollutant, either both particulate matter and the gaseous pollutant. Particulate matter mostly consists of the particulate matter 2.5, that is called suspended particulate matter, and particulate matter 10, that is called PM10, or respiratory suspended respiratory particulate matter. The two type of particulate matter is there. And the gaseous pollutants consist of all other gaseous pollutants. That may be a volatile organic compound, may be a SOx, may be NO2, SO2, anything. Mainly a hydrocarbon stream, anything that is called gaseous pollutant. So there are several methods for collection of gaseous pollutant from the ambient atmosphere. There are different types of method. First is called graph sampling, where what you have to do, the in this method sample is collected by fitting evaluated flask in a invertible bag. Means there is some plastic bags are there where can you just collect the air sample, and the graph sampling and storage before the analysis. Then just sample the air and store the sample. After that, you have to carry the sample to the lab, and you have to carry the analysis. So bag sampling is subject to the losses caused by moisture concentration diffusion in the wall of the bag. So there is maybe some error is there. You cannot get instant or what the actual measurement of the gaseous pollutant. Let's say example, you have to measure the SO2 content of the air. So if you are collecting the gas or pollutant gas in a gas sampling method or in a air bag, and to bring the laboratory, in between what happen in atmosphere, there is a moisture are there. The moisture means water can react with the SO2 and form a sulfuric acid. So the SO2 content may not be properly measured at that moment. So this is called graph sampling, where you can use a air bag for collection of gas. Then absorption of liquids. Already we have studied what is absorption. We have to sprinkle some water or some solvent to the air, pollutant air, and collect that slurry after mixing with the adsorbent, the solute, or that fall down of the with the gaseous pollutant. You can collect that slurry and just measure the pollutant of the gases, how much it can be there. So in this method, some gaseous or liquid medium is there needed for the adsorption. And just reverse process, just calculate the what the amount of the gaseous pollutant with this mixed with the liquid. Absorption separates the desired pollutant from the air through solubility or absorbing medium in a chemical reaction. That means what is the reaction methods, that where the pollutant, gaseous pollutant reacts plus the solvent. Then just reverse the process, and reverse calculation, you just find out the amount of the gaseous pollutant, the SO2 or NO2 present in the air sample at that moment. This is most efficient than the graph sampling, because graph sampling directly you just carry out the means collect the bag in a gas sample bag in a air bag. But in case of gaseous liquids, absorption of liquid, the all gases that are be absorbed, they can be recalculated, back calculated. That can be more efficient. Then third method is adsorption in solid. Adsorption mean in a silica medium or in a alumina medium or in a what that carbon medium, you can just absorb in solid medium, absorb the gas, and just same similar method, you just reversely calculated what is the reaction and how much the gaseous pollutants are present at the air sample. This is called absorption of solid. Among these three solids, the three types of reaction, three types of collection of gaseous pollutant. There are some more gaseous effective way, that is called freeze out sampling. This is the more effective way than all of these three things, because in freezing the sampling, a series of cold traps which are maintained in the previously low temperature. That means you have to just freeze out the gaseous pollutant. And this is because when the you just freeze out the gaseous pollutant, the losses or the contaminator, they can be minimized, where you can use the gaseous by freezing. This is a freeze out sampling, just freeze the air. And this then sample are removed from the traps and analyzed from means of the gas chromatography. Means there are some traps are there where you can freeze the gaseous pollutant, and one analysis method, that is called gas chromatography method or any spectroscopy method, you can just releasing the freezing out means the trap, those SO2 NO2 content, they can be directly measured using this chromatography or spectroscopy method. uh, have you ever before heard that what is chromatography and what is spectroscopy? सुना है पहले कभी आपने? हाँ, तो कुछ आइडिया है मतलब किसको बोलते हैं स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी और क्रोमाटोग्राफी? बेसिक कुछ भी सुना है, जो भी है आपका दिमाग में है प्रॉपरली? हम्म। हाँ। 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 नहीं नहीं, ये देखिए, ये ऐसा वर्ड है, क्रोमाटोग्राफी स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी सुने हैं, लेकिन उसका मैकेनिज्म सिंपल है। जैसे क्रोमाटोग्राफी मतलब ये क्या होगा, सेपरेट होगा। ठीक है, एक उसमें क्या करेंगे, एक कैरियर मीडियम में जाएगा। ठीक है, हमको जो सैंपल है उसको एक कैरियर मीडियम में डाल देंगे। मान लीजिए कुछ भी, वो कैरियर मीडियम NaOH हो सकता है, वाटर भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी सॉल्वेंट हो सकता है। मान लीजिए वो कैरियर मीडियम के साथ क्या करेंगे, उसको डाइल्यूट कर देंगे। इल्यूट बोलते हैं, इल्यूट और डाइल्यूट। तो क्या होगा, जो गैसियस पोल्यूटेंट्स जो है, मान लीजिए उसमें SO2 NO दोनों मिक्स है, तो SO2 एक हायर लेवल में जाके उसको मार्क कर लेगा, और वो NO2 नीचे लेवल में जाके मार्क कर लेगा। अपना अपना जो एब्जॉर्प्शन मीडिया होता है उसमें से उसका मार्किंग आ जाएगा। दैट इज कॉल्ड क्रोमाटोग्राफी। मींस यू हैव टू जस्ट सेपरेट डिफरेंट पोल्यूटेंट एट द डिफरेंट लेवल। ये हो गया क्रोमाटोग्राफी। देयर आर वेरियस क्रोमाटोग्राफी, लिक्विड क्रोमाटोग्राफी इज देयर, गैस क्रोमाटोग्राफी इज देयर, हाई परफॉर्मेंस लिक्विड क्रोमाटोग्राफी भी है, हाई परफॉर्मेंस गैस क्रोमाटोग्राफी विद मास स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी भी है। देयर आर डिफरेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट, but the main thing of chromatography basic principle is called separation of gas liquid by different solvent। और स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी क्या है? स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी is the method where you can detect the, means you have to just get energize the gaseous pollutants by giving some ray of light. That means you have to just energize the particles, gaseous particle or the pollutant particle, and whenever there is a absorption of energy takes place, then it can also radiate, also energy takes place. So in this principle, when the radiation takes place in a particular wavelength, so this particular wavelength you can just measure the optical density in a spectroscopy, that is called spectroscopy। ये दोनों का वही डिफरेंस है, कैसे उसको मेजर करेंगे। सो ये दो केमिकल जो है, मेनली SO2 NO2 जो गैसियस पोल्यूटेंट है फ्रॉम द एयर, you can use gas chromatography, not liquid chromatography, because you are using gaseous pollutant. So you have to use gas chromatography or using spectroscopy. Spectroscopy also may be various type of spectroscopy. Mass spectroscopy is there, fluorescence spectroscopy is there, just UV spectroscopy also there. But you have to know what is the requirement of the sampling methods. If you are using just, if you are example, if your analysis for CO analysis for SO2, just SO2, then SO2 is a colorless, odorless, or anything, means then you have to use it. What happened, you have to use just white spectroscopy, that is called high performance liquids, no, not that, huh, FTIR spectroscopy means what is called Fourier transformation infrared spectroscopy. You have to use this. So what is their mechanism is, you just expose the pollutant or sample in a pass between the two rays of the light, and particularly there is a wavelength of 400 nanometer to 4000 nanometer, is just excite where what is the range where you can be excitation of the takes place. And by calculating the area under the curve, you have to know the concentration of the SO2 particles or SO2 concentration at that sample. So there are different methods। ये जो है आपको एनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री वाले जो कोर्स है आपका, कुछ कोर्स था इसमें ना, जो एनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री कोर्स टाइप का, तो उसमें आप डिटेल्स पढ़ेंगे इसको, स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी का, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी, क्रोमाटोग्राफी, उसका प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है, उसका इंस्ट्रूमेंट का कैसे डेकोरेस, मतलब डिजाइन कैसे होता है, ये सारी चीज थोड़ा सा सीखना पड़ेगा। Next, collection principle of pollutants, particulate pollutant. These four types are for collection of gaseous pollutant. Next, come to particulate pollutants. So, particulate pollutants consist of mainly two things. One is called PM 2.5, another is PM 10. PM, how these particulate pollutants can be collected and measure. What is the measure of the particulate pollutant? So, let me means you have to just collect 1 meter cube or 1 centimeter cube of volume of the gas particularly, then you just measure what are the particle, what are the concentration of particle at that particular volume of the gas, then you have to just multiply with the total, what is the volume that can be emitted in the stack, or what is the volume that can be released per hour, per day. So you have to just exaggerate the amount to the small volume and just calculate what are the gaseous particulate matter that can be released into air by this industry in the per day basis or per hour basis or per year basis, that can be calculated. So what are the methods for calculate the particulate sample collection of sample pollutant? These particulate pollutants of the atmosphere are grouped generally into these that settle due to the force of the gravity and the remain suspended aerosol. That means we have use different technology for control the particulate matters. Example, the first simplest way of controlling the particulate matter is called gravity settling chamber. Only the gravity force when the volume of the air that can be passed from the lower or when decrease in pressure takes place. That means smaller pipe to be larger pipe, you have the volume of the gas and we pass, then the due to the gravity or settling of the dust particle takes place below the hopper. So this is the mean simplest method for the control of the particular matter. So here also the for collection of the particular matter in the gases, just use the this small sediment, it's called sedimentation technique, or just settle down the particular matter in the small box, that is called sedimentation, or settle out of the particular matter. And whichever the particle are not settle means below that particular matter, the pm10 that can be settled out, but the smallest particular matter pm2.5 that cannot be settled out, and they already mix with the air and it just pass through the air, and this type of aerosol. Aerosol means air plus solid, air, gaseous air plus solid, that is called aerosol, where the particle cannot be never settle, only moves with the air. So there are different method for collection of both suspended particle as well as aerosols. For suspended particle, only simple gravity or settle down type of principle may be required, or for the aerosol there is different methods for the collection of the sample. So first category consists of large particle, that means that is called settleable particle greater than 10 micrometer diameter. So it can be collected using sedimentation technique. Thus, you have to collect the some gaseous pollutant gas. Then, after some time with equilibrium phase, you may see this there is sedimentation or some fall of the dust particles or in the surface takes place. This is simple sedimentation technique. While for the second category, that means for aerosol, the sedimentation technique does not work because the particle never settled in the air. So, due to the small size, more sophisticated technique is required for this collection of the dust particle. That may be filtration. You have to use one filter paper that size less than 10 micron or 10 micrometer. That may be required. Imprison method, that is a filtration method, imprison method, and electrostatic or thermal precipitation method. They are the different sophisticated techniques we have to use for the collection of the that aerosol or the suspended particle. That is, we have to learn what are the different methods one by one. So most important instrument the used for monitoring is class of particular collector, they call particular collector, or that can be function is to permit measurement or collected material to analyze the weight of the particle in the done separately. So different methods are there. First method is called sedimentation or dust fall jar. That is simple technique method for higher or greater particle greater than 10 micrometer. This is called, here what happened, the this is simplest device where 10 micrometer or particulate are just settled down in a chamber, and this particular consists of 20 to 30 centimeter height. That is, this is like this, you just pass through the air here, and just due to the settling or gravity settling, the particulate matter are just settled down in the jar automatically. There is no other instrument are used, only you have to pass the air here. So after that, some times the particulate matter are just settled on the in the jar. So this is a trapping of the gaseous particle with the gravity. So these are the actually there for the standard measurement or standard sedimentation, the dimension of the jar and what are the height of the jar, that also important. So this 20 to 30 centimeter height and 10 to 50 centimeter diameter, this is a particular design sampler or jar that have to use. You cannot use randomly or random type of jar or random configuration random design of jar. You have to use this particular types of design jar for collection of the air sample. This sample is collected over a period of 1 month and expressed in milligram per meter cube, centimeter cube. Here, centimeter cube is the volume, means per volume, and is a per month. 1 month means what is the sample collected per month, and milligram, what is the weight of the sample collected per centimeter cube. This is the unit, or tons per kilometer square. That means it is a larger unit, this is a smaller unit. For in our air sampler or jar collection method, this milligram per centimeter cube is means just it has to be used. So the method is simple, inexpensive, and require no power and lacks of precision. So only you have to just put the device in open air for a 1 month. Then you have just after 1 month you have to just collect the sample. So here what happened? This is inexpensive. No required of manpower, no required of any energy, anything, nothing is required. Only you have to just place the instrument or just jar is just placed over. For what is the demerit? The precision is important. So the in a small area where the gases of the gaseous particulate matter may not be fall accurately. This is like a measurement of water precipitation. Similar thing, whenever the dust fall into the above, this only you have to just collect. So you have to lack of precision. This is no accurate measurement can be takes place. Second method is called high volume filtration. Normally this is the instrument we have to use for the mostly cases. We have used this high volume filtration. This is called high volume sampler. You have also seen that in industry, various industry, there are some device they have to run for 1 hour, 2 hour, 24 hour, 1 month also. There is a filter paper is there, and suction pump is there. So you have to just suck the volume, certain volume of air from the atmosphere with the help of this filter paper. Let's see what the high volume filtration is. Popular measurement for the mass concentration of suspended particulate matter smaller than 10 micrometers. Means the filter size that have to use that must be smaller than 10 micrometers. So you have to just collect the water means particulate matter in this filter paper. Basically high volume. This sampler is universally known as high volume sampler, and this sample, this known volume of air is sucked. Means it also designed in such a way that the amount of the volume that sucked into the filter paper, that is be something 1 meter cube, 1 kilometer cube, like that. Some known volume of the air is sucked with the precision of time. Means in 1 hour this amount of volume is sucked. You have to set this. So this glass fiber filter is used. Just glass fiber filter is used to the filter the dust particular substandard particulate above the, and the efficiency is 99%, and the size is up to 0.3 micron. These are the standard size that have been used in this case of collection of air sample, and it is moderately effective trapping particles of the 0.5 micron. This sampling is generally run for 24 hours. During over a time 200 a 2000 meter cube air is sucked. This is the, you have to remember what is the standard volume and the how much minimum time for the run of the volume sampler. See here it is the instrument like that. Here in above there is a filter paper is there. Here is a filter paper is there, and here there is a lead where there is a roof type of design is there, because in it is kept for 24 hours, then that when we rain takes place, and due to rain, in order to prevent the air sample or prevent the collected dust sample, you have to just design like that. And there is a motor or there is a pump in below where you have to just power on the motor and the set the volume of suction that up to 2000 meter cube for 24 hour. We have to set like that and run for 24 hour. And in between, if the rain also takes place, then there is no problem, because the air passes through like this. So you have to not do not worry. And if there is also power failure, then system is designed like that the sampler or the it is run up to 24 hours. If there is some power failure also takes place, it will running after 24 hours, it stops automatically. So for 24 hours running, you have to check the filter paper and the how much the filter paper can be the sample can be collected. So just measure the weight of the filter paper before placing it, and measure the filter paper after 24 hours. So you have to know what is the amount of the solid particulate matter that can be here collected after 24 hours, like that. Second is called next method is called imprison method. Imprisonment methods. What is imprisonment method? This is separation of particulate from the air by abrasion or collision against a flat surface. On from the basis of this method, this is called imprisonment. Means what happened here? The gases volume are passed through a nozzle by suction of the some uh, air by air, and the gas particles with the gas pollutant particles along with the suspended particles or gaseous pollutant, they can just collide with the wall of the certain, then just what happened, the after collision the particulate matter there can be settled down, and this settled down particulate matter there can be collected after some times. And this apparatus employed may be either for a wet or dry type. Here it can be both type, either wet type or dry type. In both type, collection result due to interfacial forces and particulate tend to resist the change of direction, because when there is a change in direction, then the suspended particulate matter they can be just settled down due to the force of inertia, or force of inertia, that is inertia of force. Inertia of force means whenever, that is Newton's second law state that whenever the particle or the body is continue to the motion, and it always continue to the motion, after external force it can be slow down. That means when volume is particle is into continuous motion, when you just place inside there is a obstacle is there, then due to the force of inertia that can just settle down to the, but the air that are moving, that are undisturbed pass the next way. So there are 2 3 stages where the suspended particulate matter they can be collected. This is called imprison method. Greenberg, Smith, standard imprison, and Meade's imprison are example of the weight collector. Here, in weight collector, what happened? In this wall, uh, when the strikes to the wall, then there is a liquid is there, or some liquid solution is there where you can trap the particulate matter. Because if there is do not place a liquid, then that might be chances for the volume of air that can be again erodes the particulate matter that can be fall into the into next step. So in order to trap the particulate matter, suspended particulate matter, here only the is on liquid may be placed. That's a weight collector, weight imprison method. So the dust particles are just trapped in the liquid, into the liquid. So it's called four-stage cascade imprisonment. There are one, two, three, four. If there are the Buffel plate or the obstacle, number of obstacle, this is different types of imprison methods are there. This is example of four stages cascade imprisonment. Just you have to put a valve or put a obstacle in the way of the dust load and particle. So those solid particular matter that can be fall down. A typical cascade impactor consists of the 5 to 10 collection stages. Here there are only 4 collection stages, and also there are 5 to 10 collection stage also there, in which sample air stream is passed through the series of jet, and that I already said what is the due to the force of inertia, the numbers of obstacle, how much sample will be collected that can be calculated. And what is the size? Here the impactor are capable of sizing particle 0.2 micrometer. Here up to 0.2 micrometer, this particular matters are can be collected efficiency up to 100%, and particle small up to 0.6 micrometer. These are the different is efficiency and the particular. This is the important thing you have to remember. What is the efficiency and what is the size of the collection dust collector in the imprison method. But in case of high volume sampler, what is the size? The size is up to 0.3 micrometer, and it is efficient up to 99%. This is the for the high volume sampler. And for here, this is the size is greater than 10 micrometer, greater than 10 micrometer, and it is less efficient. It is how it is less of precision and less efficient, simple method. So many of us for correct actual measurement we have to use imprison method for the collection of gaseous particles, suspended fluid particles. Along with this, there are another three different types of methods that can be used for collection of suspended particular matter or particular matter. But these three methods I have discussed already. That is, what are the methods? The sedimentation, high volume sampler, and impression method. These three methods are mostly used or for their small size and handling or smoothly handling or operation of the collection efficiency. These methods may be used, but along with these methods, there are another methods called electrostatic precipitator, thermal precipitors, and centrifugal methods. These are also different methods we have to use for collection of the dust particle, but these are not an instrument. These are the where you can be collect the particle or particular matter in the particular instrument. Like we have already studied what is electrostatic precipitator. Like electrostatic precipitator is the used the precipitator or the collection of dot particle control device that can be used in case of thermal power plant, where there is a higher temperature is there and the gas or particular are just charging with the highly positively or negatively charged, that can be energized, and collection of the gaseous particles not gaseous particles, the particular matter are takes place in the opposite of respective cathode or anode or charge plate. That is called electrostatic precipitator. Then you have to use small type of electrostatic precipitator design and the collect the sample per hour, per month, or per year. That you have to just calculate the how much particulate matter that can be emitted from this particular industry. This is a electrostatic precipitator. And next is thermal precipitator. What is thermal? Difference between electrostatic and thermal? In electrostatic precipitator, thermal precipitator, both are designed same, but here in case of electrostatic only high electrostatic field is created, but in case of thermal precipitator only higher temperature is needed. There is no electric field. The only difference is the electric field or energy that can be charged. This is similar type of precipitator. And next is the centrifugal method. Centrifugal method is the method where the gaseous or liquid anything that can be rotated in a high speed up to more than the what is the uh, acceleration due to gravity, more or number of times more than the acceleration due to gravity. We have to just rotate in such a way that the centrifugal force act and the dust particular matter that can be collected in the bottom of the flask or bottom of the this tube. We have studied this centrifugal method, discussed in later stage today itself. That is called what is centrifugation, how it works. So stack sampling templing. These are for the study. We have studied this for the ambient or air quality technique, where you have to just collect the air sample in one place and carry for the analysis in the lab. Then what is the next? Is called stack sampling technique. Is the technique where you have to instantly measure the what is the amount of the gaseous pollutant or particular pollutant that can be emission takes place by just improving a or placing a probe direct measurement. Stack sampling or source sampling may be defined the method of collecting respective sample of pollutant or laden gas, place origin of pollutant, determine the total amount of pollutant into the atmosphere at the given source at the given time. Means at that instantly time you have to measure the what is the pollutant that can be released to atmosphere at that source itself, not anywhere. Because the ambient air quality you have to just collect the air in anywhere, not the source. You have to just collect the air in any places, either residential place, industrial place, anywhere in your top of the roof, anywhere you can place the high volume sampler or imprisoned sampler. But this technique stack sampling placing, this is the collection of sample or at the instantly at the source of the pollution, or that is called stack or industry itself. Means at the source what is the instant amount of the gaseous pollutant that can be released at the source itself, you have to measure it. So it is very important for the sample collected must truly represent the condition of the prevailing inside the stack. That means for that we have to go inside the stack and collect the air sample. So this is very important in the air stack where you can place the probe to measure the accurately measure the pollutant level. If you are placing the probe just side of the wall, that may not be accurate, and the main mostly air that pollutant that can pass in the middle of the probe, middle of the stack. So there are various places where you have to measure the or place your probe for actual measurement. Let's see. For this consideration, accurate measurement of representative of sample collection include: first is accurate measurement of pressure, moisture, humidity, and gas composition. It can be measured here. What is the pressure inside the stack? What is the moisture content? What is the outside moisture content? That is called humidity. And what is the gas composition? What are the different gas that can be passed or get can be emitted? Then the selection of suitable location. This is also important, where you have to place your probe, that is below the stack, middle of the stack, or upside of the stack. There are different places where you have to just probe your stack, place your, or where you have to collect the air sample. Then determination of the transverse point required for velocity and temperature profile across the trough section. That means you have to also know what is the velocity of the gas inside the uh, stack moves, and what are the temperature of the gas. You have to know before putting the probe, or for collection of sample or measurement of the air sample, because in stack or there are also some arrangement for measuring the velocity and the pressure and also the temperature. There are different places they have just placed this different probe for that, for automatic detection of the temperature, pressure, and velocity. The measurement of the rate flow of gas air through the stacks. This is also important. Flow of the gas. Selection of suitable sampling train, means where you have to collect the sample. Accurate isokinetic sampling rate, especially particulate sampling. Isokinetic sampling rate, that means you have to just record the exact, what means the velocity, when the volume of the gas passes through exact velocity, then also you have to collect. Means once you have to collect the velocity 10, next you have to sample the velocity when it moves to the higher velocity 20. That is not accurate. All the places, all the time you have to just maintain the isokinetic, means velocity remain constant, then you have to measure at different places according to the measurement weight and volume of the sample collected. What are the weight and sample that can be also accurately measurement. See, this is the general arrangement for the sampling train. कैसे sampling होता है ये वाला देखिए. ये मान लीजिए stack है. This is a stack where you have to insert the probe. This is the probe. 2 is called sampling probe, where you have to insert at the middle of the probe. Then 3 is called particulate collector, where you have to just collect the particulate matter in the probe. 4 is called cooling and gas collector. After it will pass through the cooling the gas, then it's called gas is flow meter. You just flow, detect the flow of the gas. 6 is the flow controller valve. Here you have to control the flow for the constant. You have to just measure now. You have to constant flow volume of the gas and constant flow due to constant flow. So here you have to just maintain or regulate your flow of the gas constant, and you have to measure the particulate matter. Next is called vacuum pump. Here there is a pump is there. You have to just suck the air inside the stack. So these are different arrangement for the measurement of the stack sampling. These are different units of the measurements of the volume, means air pollutants in the stack itself. What are the different elements for the stack sampling? So important, what are the important thing? First, selection of sampling location. In the stack, where you have to just insert. This is the ground level you have to insert, or middle here you insert, or the above the stack you have to insert. This is a different sampling location where you have to take the air sample. The sampling point should be far away as possible from the disturbing influence, such as elbow, bend, and other obstruction. This is sampling point should be at distance of 5-10 diameters downstream from the obstruction, and 3-5 diameter. This is a standard point where you have to insert the probe, or the you have to measure the air pollution, pollutant air. What the first thing, at that point there is no elbow and bends or other joints. जहाँ पे क्या है, ये सारे पॉइंट्स नहीं है, वहीं पे ही मेजर करना है. जहाँ पे स्ट्रेट, जहाँ पे पाइप है, जो इंडक्शन डक्ट है, जहाँ पे स्ट्रेट है वहीं पे मेजर करना है. Next, ideally sampling point should be rather 5-10 diameters downstream. That means not in upstream, downstream, जहाँ पे गैस पोल्यूटेंट निकल के जा रहा है, where you have to measure. and 3 or 5 diameters of string. ऊपर में भी करना है, नीचे में भी करना है. नेक्स्ट द साइड सैम्पलिंग, साइज ऑफ सैम्पलिंग पॉइंट, कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए सैम्पलिंग पॉइंट, कितना होना चाहिए. द साइज ऑफ सैम्पलिंग पॉइंट मे बी रेंज ऑफ 7 to 10 centimeter in diameter. This is the standard prescribed by the different body where you have to collect how you have to collect the air sample. Then transverse points. Transverse points mean is a cross sectional area where you have to just insert the probe to collect the air sample. See, for a true representative of air sample, it should be collected at various point across the track. ये क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया है उसका ट्रैक का. सो आप डायरेक्ट यहाँ पे रेंडमली डू नॉट हैव टू इंस्टॉल, देन यू हैव टू collect at different distance for the different times and collect the air sample and just average of that. So this is called, this point is called transverse points where you have to collect the air sample. The two sets of radius of 90-degree apart are taken in the same plane, means where here and here 90 degree you have to take different places. 9 equal area are in 3 lines. That means here 4 5 point, here 4 5 point, means there are different lines you have to take or air sample. Next we call isokinetic sampling. Isokinetic sampling, that means if the gas velocity inside the probe is maintained less than the force of the stream velocity. That means the gaseous velocity that present inside the, that must be same as the volume, means that means the air velocity that will be passing through the probe. That is called isokinetic point. There are three different types of here. If the gaseous pollutant velocity, sample velocity is greater than the velocity air velocity of that stream main stack velocity, that is called under mapped, under sample. And if the sample velocity is less than the velocity of the star, that's called over sample. So we have to maintain the probe or the sampling velocity of is equal to the sampling means velocity of the volume of the air inside the stack. This is called isokinetic sampling. This should be maintained. Here means the sampling velocity of the gas, that's whatever that moves upward in the stack, that must be maintained with the moves the velocity in the this side. So we have to adjust the pump and the meter like that the velocity of the gaseous that be equal here also. This is called gaseous means isokinetic sampling. In that condition you have to sample, measure the sample only when the sample velocity equal, that I have already discussed. Go through those is then gaseous sampling. This is for particular sampling. The similarly for gaseous sampling, we have to basic routine or sampling from the stack is similar to the particular sampling. Same similar like that in gaseous sampling also. Just to maintain this isokinetic point, and here also different cross sectional area. If the moisture present in stock gases, it could be considered sampling line, dissolve the gaseous content in interest. That means before going to the, means you have to first know what are the main here na, here there is what is the pressure, what is the moisture content, what the humidity content, what is the gas composition. You should know before that for gaseous sampling. You should all this you have to know what are the different condition you have to measure the sample. Sampling probe for flame system, that means for flame application. Flame application means if the stacks if the measuring the sample in the upper layer of the stack, then gaseous the pollutant or pollutant gas, the temperature is be so high that it can catches fire. That is called flame. At that time also, when above the stack also you have to measure the sample of the gaseous pollutant. That is called flame sampling, where high volume of air that can be having maintaining high temperature. So you have to design your probe such like that you can also use that probe at the high temperature at the flame itself. So the designer probe is called sampling probe for flame sampling. There is different probes are designed according to the different requirements. Then is one is system called aerodynamic quenching. It is defined the rapid reduction of static temperature of static pressure achieved by the rapid acceleration of the flow of the supersonic speed of the supersonic flow. That means when your speed or the volume gas that can be rapidly what mean rapidly accelerating from the slow volume to higher volume. At that condition is called aerodynamic quenching, and this type of supersonic flow is maintained only the designing the temperature of the sample. That means we have to measure maintain now we have to maintain the volume, mean velocity of the this volume, air volume inside the probe, and velocity of the stack, that must be equal. So for this we have to maintain this condition that is called aerodynamic quenching in this system for the gaseous sampling for the cell. So these are the different methods for monitoring, for air quality monitoring. That means for collection of air samples at the different points, or means there are two basic points at measurement of air sample or collection of air sample at the stack itself, that is called stack sampling, and the collection of air sample at go to the laboratory for testing, that is called ambient air quality sampling. So they are the different types of air sampling you have to do, and there are different instrument you have to go through it, and read what are the different types of the air sampling. सो सारा कुछ डाउट है इसमें जो आज मैं पढ़े हैं इसमें? ठीक है, और इसमें मैं अभी बता देता हूँ एक, जैसे कि बोले ना, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन। तो व्हाट इज सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन? ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा, एक छोटा सा इसमें है, टू गो थ्रू इट। सो सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन और सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स जो है, दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टाइप्स ऑफ application for separating different particulate matters to the liquid और gas। ये सेपरेट करता है। जैसे कि एक नॉर्मल यूज सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स का जो है वो है वॉशिंग मशीन। वॉशिंग मशीन क्या करता है, जैसे जोर से घुमाने से क्या होता है, उसका जो पार्टिकुलर्स जो चिपका हुआ है उसको वो छूट जाता है, वो वॉश हो जाता है। एंड इनके सब ड्रायर ड्रायर कैसे सुखा देता है, बहुत जोर से घूमता है। सो क्या होता है, जो एयर एयर जो मॉइस्चर कंटेंट इन जो पार्टिकल होता है ना, मॉइस्चर पार्टिकल क्लॉथ में जो होता है वो सारा निकल जाता है। तो दिस इज द ड्यू टू द सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स। तो सेम टेक्निक हैज बी यूज्ड फॉर द सेपरेट ऑफ लिक्विड एंड सॉलिड, that suspended solid particle that may not be separate or may not be filtrate in the filter paper or some sedimentation process. This is called centrifugal separation. Here we have to just rotate the sample with high speed, very high speed, that be multiple times of the acceleration due to gravity। जो आपकी ग्रेविटी है उससे बहुत गुना हमको बढ़ा के क्या करना है, घुमाना है। तो इतना जोर से घुमाएंगे जो भी सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकल्स जो भी है वो क्या होगा, सेपरेट हो जाएगा पूरा। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड सेंट्रीफ्यूगल separation method. Here the centrifugal separation method employs centrifugal acceleration up to 1 million times than the gravitational acceleration of the earth। अर्थ का ग्रेविटी जो है उससे कितना 1 लाख गुना, यार 100 लाख गुना ज्यादा स्पीड से हम घुमाएंगे, तो इतना जोर से हमको उसको घुमाना पड़ेगा। सो दिस सेडिमेंटेशन टेक्स प्लेस एट द हाई स्पीड। नॉर्मल स्पीड में सेडिमेंटेशन नहीं होगा, तो इतना स्पीड में घुमाने से सेडिमेंटेशन होगा। सो देयर आर 3 डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ पेलेटिंग, different types of sediment centrifugal separation is available. One is called differential pelleting, two is called red zonal centrifugation, and third is called isopenic centrifugation। Let's see one by one। ये कुछ नहीं है, बहुत इजी है। डिफरेंशियल पेलेटिंग, दैट मीन्स ये लिक्विड में कुछ सॉलिड सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकल्स यहाँ पे है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, ये बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल है, तो आफ्टर समटाइम्स ये ऑटोमेटिकली सेडिमेंट्स, ये क्या होगा, ये सेडिमेंट हो जाएगा नीचे। कैसे होगा, ये साइज ऑफ द पार्टिकल इज सो लार्ज दैट इवन इन स्मॉल, जैसे थोड़ा सा घुमा देंगे ये ऑटोमेटिकली नीचे आ जाएगा और ये क्लियर ऊपर हो जाएगा। सो हियर सिंपल सॉल्यूशन इज सब्जेक्ट टू सेंट्रीफ्यूगल सेपरेशन इज एलो पार्टिकल टू सेडिमेंट। ये नीचे जमा हो जाएगा ड्यू टू जस्ट घुमाने के बाद सेपरेशन। द सेंट्रीफ्यूगल सेपरेशन ऑफ हाई टू लो रोटेटिंग स्पीड, ये ज्यादा जोर से घुमाने का भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज द साइज ऑफ द पार्टिकल्स इज हाई, थोड़ा सा बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल्स है, तो इसमें नीचे आ जाएगा। दिस इज कॉल्ड डिफरेंशियल पेलेटिंग। ये किसमें ये होता है, ये एप्लीकेशन होता है राइस ड्रॉ वायरस, ये सारे है, ये कुछ कुछ ये सारे में याद नहीं करना है, बस इसको याद करना है कि डिफरेंशियल पेलेटिंग इज द सिंपल सेपरेशन और सिंपल सर्टिफिकेशन मेथड वेयर यू हैव टू यूज लो स्पीड, ज्यादा स्पीड नहीं करना है, एंड द पार्टिकल आर हाईएस्ट, पार्टिकल आर एज कंपेयर टू हाई। नेक्स्ट क्या हो गया, रेड जोनल सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन। यहाँ पे क्या होगा, here the density gradient solution that is layer with sample solution, that means जो particles है, it there are टू टाइप्स ऑफ पार्टिकल्स, बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल्स भी है, छोटा पार्टिकल्स भी है। जब हम इसको हाई स्पीड में घुमाएंगे तो क्या होगा, ये छोटा पार्टिकल्स जो है ऊपर आ जाएगा कहीं मिडिल में, और जो बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल है और कहीं पे हो जाएगा। मतलब देर आर according to the density gradient, the particular matter are separated after having uh, this high speed gravity separation or centrifugal separation, it is separated along according to the density profile। ये होगा, जैसे ये रियल पिक्चर है, ये यहाँ पे देखो आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, ये यहाँ पे है कुछ कुछ है, लेकिन जब उसको सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन करेंगे देर आर टू लेयर हो जाएगा, ये नीचे हो जाएगा बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल है, जो थोड़ा सा नहीं दिखेगा वो ऊपर में हो जाएगा अलग अलग, जैसे कि वही राइबोसोम इन भाइजा ये सब है। नेक्स्ट हो गया आइसोपेनिक सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन। हियर दिस मेथड एम्प्लॉय डेंसिटी ग्रेडियंट सॉल्यूशन सेपरेट पार्टिकल बेस्ड ऑन द डेंसिटी डिफरेंस। दैट मीन ये जो पार्टिकल साइज है ये तो थोड़ा बहुत तो बड़ा है, उससे भी और छोटा पार्टिकल्स है, जैसे कि आरएनए डीएनए ये सारी चीजें करना है आपको, तो क्या करेंगे आप, ये इसमें जाएंगे तो ये भी ऑल्सो, ये क्या होगा, द स्मॉल साइज पार्टिकल्स नीचे आ जाएगा और हाई पार्टिकल्स ऊपर चले जाएगा। एंड दिस ऑल्सो, ये कैसे करेंगे, देर आर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रोटेशन स्पीड, वो रोटेशन स्पीड में डिपेंड करता है कितना स्पीड में आप घुमाएंगे तो कैसे सेपरेट होगा। द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द रेड जोनल सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन में क्या है, बड़ा वाला पार्टिकल नीचे आएगा और हियर बड़ा वाला पार्टिकल ऊपर जाएगा, वही डिफरेंस है इसका, थोड़ा सा आप देख लेना बाद में। फिर ये उसके अंडर में आ रहा है एक, क्या है ये, सेल्फ फॉर्मिंग। हाँ, दिस इज कॉल्ड सेल्फ फॉर्मिंग और टिपिकल डेंसिटी ग्रेडियंट सॉल्यूशन। Here the sample is suspended in the density profile with a solution of uniform density such as subjected to centrifugal acceleration, automatically form a density gradient। इसमें क्या होगा, जो दोनों सैंपल जो है वो ज्यादा दूर नहीं जाएगा, थोड़ा थोड़ा पास में ही वो सेपरेट होने लगेगा। दैट इज फॉर यूज फॉर डीएनए एंड द वायरस, दैट मीन वेरी नानो साइज पार्टिकल, बहुत छोटा पार्टिकल जो है डीएनए खाली आंख में दिखाई नहीं देगा। सो यू हैव टू यूज लाइक दिस मेथड्स। Again is called fractional flotation। ये fractional flotation is also a density profile separation। सोडियम ब्रोमाइड, सोडियम ब्रोमाइड ये सब यूज होता है। एंड फॉर लिपोप्रोटीन दिस सॉल्यूशन यूज, दैट मीन हायर सॉल्यूशन ऑफ डेंसिटी एंड बी टारगेटेड फॉर दोस पार्टिकल्स। में जो बड़ा बड़ा पार्टिकल्स सिर्फ है उसमें छोटा पार्टिकल्स नहीं है, तो यू हैव टू यूज दिस टाइप ऑफ मेथड्स। These are the different features of centrifugal separation। सिंपल फ्रेंडली सेपरेशन, कुछ नहीं करना है आपको, सब घुमा देना है और उसके बाद फिल्टर कर देना है। व्हाट आर द सेंट्रीफ्यूगल एक्सीलरेशन, ये 100 जी भी हो सकता है और टू 1 मिलियन जी भी हो सकता है। जी मीन्स एक्सीलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, कितना स्पीड में आप घुमा रहे हैं उतना फोर्स मिलेगा आपको। देन पार्टिकल्स कैन ऑल्सो बी सेपरेटेड बेस्ड ऑन द डिफरेंस ऑफ द डेंसिटी, जो कि डेंसिटी के हिसाब से डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सेपरेट होगा, कौन सा हायर पार्टिकल्स ऊपर जाएगा या लोअर पार्टिकल्स नीचे आएगा। देन एडेप्टेबल टू द ब्रॉड सैंपल क्वांटिटी, ये सैंपल क्वांटिटी के साथ हो जाएगा, मतलब कितना सैंपल आप यूज कर रहे हैं। बहुत छोटा सैंपल भी, मतलब अप टू 1 माइक्रो लीटर भी हो सकता है, अप टू 10 लीटर भी कर सकते हैं, ये साइज के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है आपने कितना उसको सेपरेट करना है। सो दिस आर द डिफरेंट रोटर वेयर हैव टू यूज। ये एंगल रोटर है, ये ऐसे एंगल रहता है, जैसे सैंपल ऐसे ऐसे घुमा ऐसे रखेंगे, ये ऐसे रखेंगे, थोड़ा सा एंगल रहेगा ये मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंटली यूज इन रोटर व्हाइल यू हैव टू होल्ड एट 30 डिग्री एंगल्स, ये एंगल्स में रहेगा। एंड दिस इज कौन सा मेथड में ये यूज हो सकता है। उसके बाद न्यूगा एंगल रोटेटर, ये कितना एंगल में रहेगा, 10 डिग्री एंगल में रहेगा। उसके बाद वर्टिकल रोटेटर, ये कितना एंगल में रहेगा, पूरा पूरा वर्टिकल रहेगा, इसमें कोई एंगल फिंगल नहीं रहेगा। ये स्विंग रोटेटर, इसमें एंगल फिक्स नहीं है, ये स्विंग करता है, जैसे ऐसे घुमाएंगे तो ये साइड में हो जाएगा, जैसे कि कोई वॉशिंग मशीन में होता है, उसका कोई एंगल फिक्स नहीं रहेगा। जब स्लो मोशन में घुमाएंगे तो सीधा रहेगा, हाई स्पीड में घुमाएंगे तो ऐसे हो जाएगा। एंड दिस इज called swing rotator। These are the different types of centrifugal action where you have to used for different purpose। कुछ नहीं है, इसको बस घुमाना है हायर स्पीड में, तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो पार्टिकुलेट मैटर है लिक्विड से सेपरेट हो जाएगा। मैं ये दोनों को अभी अपलोड कर देता हूँ और इसमें अब एक बात बताइए, ये जो जी लिखा हुआ है, ये ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, ये क्या चीज है, व्हाट इज द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी। मैं तो उतना बोल रहा हूँ, अभी आप बोलिए। हाँ, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, द ग्रेविटी, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी किसको बोलते हैं, वही पूछ रहा हूँ। देखिए, आप कहीं पेड़ में चढ़ जाइए, ठीक है, उसके बाद वहीं पे आप कोई फ्रूट्स या कुछ भी चीज गिरा दीजिए, तो क्या होगा? वो ऊपर हाइट में से कोई गिरता है तो वो मतलब क्या क्यों गिरता है? ड्यू टू द ग्रेविटी। तो आपने क्या करेंगे, वो 5 मीटर के ऊपर से कोई गिरा कुछ चीज गिराएंगे, जितना स्पीड में नीचे आएगा, एक 100 मीटर ऊपर से गिराएंगे तो वो कितना स्पीड में नीचे आएगा? कौन सा ज्यादा स्पीड में नीचे आएगा, आप सोच रहे हैं? हाइट। हाँ, हाइट हाइट जिसका ज्यादा जितना होगा, उसका इम्पैक्ट और उसका स्पीड उतना ज्यादा होगा। उसका मतलब क्या है? एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, जो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स जो है, वो डिपेंड करता है कितना हाइट से आप लोग, मतलब आप कोई चीज आ रहा है उसके पास, दैट डिपेंड्स। सो ये जो एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी और एक चीज से डिपेंड करता है, जो कि मास। एक छोटा सा लाइट बल्ब आप नीचे गिराएंगे तो जितना स्पीड में आएगा, एक स्टील बॉल का गिराएंगे उसका कितना स्पीड में आएगा? जिसका मास ज्यादा है उसको इतना स्पीड में और नीचे आएगा। सो देर आर टू थिंग्स, वन इज कॉल्ड डिपेंड्स ऑन हाइट एंड डिपेंड्स ऑन मास। ये दोनों तो है, एंड देयर इज अ थर्ड टर्म दैट इज कॉल्ड जी, दैट इज कॉल्ड जी। दैट जी वैल्यू, दैट मीन एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, ये क्या है? वो एक फिक्स है। द अर्थ का जो खींचने का जो पावर है, दैट इज फिक्स। क्योंकि मास बढ़ाएंगे तो वो भी बढ़ेगा, डिस्टेंस बढ़ाएंगे तो भी बढ़ेगा, लेकिन फिक्स क्या है? दैट जी, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, दैट इज जी वैल्यू इज कॉल्ड 9.8 मीटर पर 9 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर। ये होता है जी का वैल्यू। सो 9.8 को मान लीजिए हम 10 ले लेते हैं, 10 ले लेते हैं, तो ये 10 जो जी है वो फिक्स हो गया। एक मिनट। जी जो है 10 मान लीजिए फिक्स हो गया। तो हाइट भी डिपेंड करता है, और क्या डिपेंड करता है? मास भी डिपेंड करता है। ये नॉर्मली होता है एफ इक्वल टू एम जी एच, ये है फिजिक्स का रूल है। तो एम हो गया मास, जी हो गया हाइट, और ये जी जो है ये 10 हो, या एक्चुअली उसको 9.8 है, राउंड फिगर करने से 10 बोलते हैं। तो मान लीजिए ये जो एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी है, इसको हमने स्पीड बढ़ा देने से, जो से रोटेशन का स्पीड बढ़ा देंगे, तो ये एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी ये बढ़ जाएगा। तो ये जी को हम बढ़ा देंगे, मान लो 100 टाइम बढ़ा देंगे, 100 × 10 कर देंगे तो 1000 हो जाएगा। ये 1000 जी जब हो जाएगा, तो उसमें क्या होगा? ये जो मास, हाइट तो यहाँ पे नहीं है, हाइट हाइट फिक्स है, तो ये मास जो है, सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकुलर का जो मास है, ये क्या करेगा? सेपरेट हो जाएगा लिक्विड के साथ। दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट। विदिन दिस प्रिंसिपल वी हैव टू यूज दिस। तो 100 करेंगे या 1000 भी कर सकते हैं, 1 मिलियन भी बढ़ा सकते हैं। दिस इज द सिंपल प्रिंसिपल, यू हैव टू रोटेट द नंबर्स ऑफ टाइम्स ऑफ द एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, जी पैरामीटर। सिंपल प्रोसेस है। और कुछ ऐसे आज का डाउट कुछ है? नहीं तो आप इसको आप एक बार रीडिंग कीजिए, फिर डाउट पूछेंगे तो फिर सही रहेगा। ठीक है, मैं इसको अपलोड करता हूँ, आप डाउनलोड कर लीजिए आज ही, ये दोनों। तो नेक्स्ट क्लास कल हम करेंगे बायो मॉनिटरिंग। तो आपका लगभग मैक्सिमम मतलब कोर्स ख़त्म ही हो जाएगा कल। अब एग्ज़ाम कब शुरू हो रहा है आपका? प्रैक्टिकल तो हो रहा है ना 26 को शायद। तो कैसे करेंगे? पूछे आपने, आएंगे या कैसे करेंगे उसका? अच्छा, वो 3rd को शुरू हो रहा है, 3 अक्टूबर को। हम्म, ठीक है। गुड नाइट। गुड नाइट।